I'm a traditional storyteller, and when these children were small, we would drive all the way back up to North Dakota to visit relatives. And so we'd leave from Phoenix, and I'd use each one of my children to be shotguns so I won't go to sleep. And so I would tell them stories upon stories upon stories until we went to the next motel or KOA camp. And stories were very crucial to us getting safely to the next stop on our way to the Dakotas. And I was taught by my grandfather in Apache. The traditional way to tell stories in Apache is the old man would sit there and start telling stories. But he would stop abruptly, and then he would watch us. Quickly we had to say, huh, and then he would start again. If we forgot to say, huh, that meant we weren't paying attention, and that meant to bed early. So all of us, my two brothers and my sister, had to listen really carefully. When he stopped, we say, ha, 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 like that. And then he would start again. A teaching tool to teach the little children to always pay close attention to the elders. I wish they still had those kind of things in society today, because I think the children would learn more in that way. But I'm going to share with you a story. There's many stories that I share with people. And I'd like to go ahead and share this story. My wife usually, which story would you want me to tell? Okay. The last time she got after me, she said, I thought you were going to tell this story. So I'm going to tell this story here. To the north, right where the pine forest is about to start. From down below, all of the broadleaf trees began marching up the slope, reaching it halfway, almost to the top. The sycamore, the oak trees, the cottonwood, all of them stopped abruptly. For down from the top, the high country, came the pine people, the ones with the needles. And they met in this place, and between them, where the two forests met, was a clearing. Early that morning, just when the sun had just risen, there was a big rock so high. A yellow bird came flying, and he landed there. He kept whistling and whistling. Soon, all of the trees, the broadleaf trees and the pine trees, were full of yellow trees that looked just like this one here. I'm your chief, he said. I've called you here because our cousin that comes from the highest mountain told me that last night a light snow has already fallen on the peaks. That means the snow will come down lower. We need to fly to the south out of the snow's reach. Tomorrow morning we head south. Now I want all of you to go and have a good supper and go to bed early and meet me here tomorrow, and we head out as one people to the south. Now go, he said. All the birds took off and they started flying back to their nests. There was a mama bird, a daddy bird, and two little birds, a family of birds. They started flying back to their nests. But somewhere along the way, daddy bird smiled at the little bird, the little boy, and he said, I bet you can't do this. And he did a loopity-loopity-loop. The little boy laughed. He says, yes, I can, Dad. And the little bird did the same thing. The dad went swooping up and up and up and up until he couldn't fly anymore. And he shot down, just barely touched the tips of the grass. And he laughed. The little boy did the same thing. Mama bird says, please be careful. We're going on a long journey tomorrow. Please be careful. Yes, dear, I know, he said. Just when he turned to look back, daddy bird flew into a low-lying branch and he clipped his wing right here. And he tumbled and tumbled in the grass. His wife landed next to him. I don't think it's broken, but it's strained really bad. He says, I told you not to do this. What about tomorrow? I'll hop back to the nest and hide below. Maybe by morning my wing will be okay, he said. Take the children up to the nest and feed them and put them to bed, because tomorrow we need to fly south with the people. The next morning, Mama bird came flying down, and from the brush, out came hopping Father bird. His wing was hanging low. It's really stiffened up. I think it's swollen right here. He said, I can't fly with you. But what about our journey to the south? You have to go without me with the people. I will find a way to survive here the winter, but it's going to be too cold, she said. I'll survive. I want to see you and the children come springtime. Now go. With great hesitation, Mama Bird, the two little birds, they went to meet the rest of the people and they flew south. The little father bird hopped around. He looked around at all the trees, the pine people and the broadleaf people. And he thought, those leaves are so broad. Surely they can shield me from more falling snow than these skinny needles. So he went to the sycamore tree and says, great sycamore tree, you're so tall and beautiful with broad leaves. Please lower your branch and lift me up so I might build a nest in your branches where I might be safe from animals hunting at night. Sycamore tree looks, who's that? Little bird, go away. I'm the mighty, tall, beautiful sycamore tree. I have no time for you. He flicked him away. And he did the same thing again, and one by one, he was told to go away. The sun was about to go down, and he was sad. Suddenly, he looked at someone calling his name on this side from the higher slope. And there was Grandfather Pine Tree. Little brother, he says, come, I'll help you, come. And so all winter, the pine people helped the little bird survive the winter. And then, one day, he heard something outside and he poked his head over the nest. And there was a family of black bears walking down below. The blue jay was chattering up here. The pine squirrels were running around. A family of squirrels, skunk. It's springtime, he said. All the people are coming out of the ground. And finally, he heard familiar sounds. His wife was calling him. Yellow birds were flying, plus other birds. He saw his wife and children. They hugged, thanked the Creator, and he flew off to build a nest, a brand new nest with his family. All was well again. But all of a sudden, a rumbling was heard above. And a lightning bolt came shooting down and it split that rock open where the bird had once sat. When the smoke cleared, there was the Creator standing there. And the Creator said, I am here because I saw what happened at the beginning of winter. I bless you, beautiful trees with the broad leaves, to be so full and beautiful green all year. But you disappointed me and you've angered me. When that little bird came hopping over to you, sycamore and cottonwood, you turned him away. And because of that, when the first snow falls on the highest mountains, I will make your leaves turn yellow and then orange. And just before snow falls, your trees will be dark brown. And one by one, you will lose your beautiful leaves. And when the snow blankets your feet, you will be staring barren as skeletons against the white snow. But to the pine people who I blessed with just skinny needles, who shared what little I gave them, I bless you that even in the dead of winter, you will always be beautiful green. Throughout all the seasons, you'll be evergreen. That is why when the seasons change, the broadleaf trees, they lose all their beautiful foliage, but the pine needles always remain on the branches because of their generosity long ago. Thank you very much.